How fast do you think AI is really advancing? Because our deep dive today uncovers something, well, remarkable and frankly, a bit startling. It's about how consistently we seem to be underestimating its pace. We're going to try and cut through the noise, look at what the data truly reveals about this surprising acceleration and its potentially transformative, maybe even disruptive impact on society. So, if there's one core argument running through all the analysis we've been looking at, it's this. Most predictions about AI, they've been consistently too conservative. I mean, imagine forecasts being off not just by months, but by maybe a full decade. So what does this all mean for your world? Let's unpack why we keep getting AI wrong.
The central argument from the analysis is pretty clear. AI is just advancing far faster than most experts predicted. We're talking about transformative effects, not in some, distant future, but really within the next 5 to 10 years. And here's where it gets really interesting. While there's a lot of chatter out there about AI being overhyped, well, the data suggests the exact opposite. Forecasts have actually been consistently too conservative.
It's quite fascinating, isn't it? Just how consistently those expert forecasts have failed to keep pace. Take that 2024 study. They surveyed 67 AI specialists, and they asked them to predict when large language models would surpass human experts in critical areas, like, say, biothreat detection. The consensus prediction, it was 2034.
2034. Okay.
But the reality, it actually happened in early 2025.
Wait, early 2025, a full decade ahead of schedule.
Exactly. 10 years.
That's not just a miscalculation. That feels like a fundamental misunderstanding of the pace. So if even the experts are getting it this wrong, what's our human tendency in all of this? Our sources really emphasize something they call the normalization of the extraordinary. Can you maybe explain how our rapid adaptation contributes to this consistent underestimation?
Absolutely. It's truly fascinating how quickly we adapt. I mean, think about it. Instant image generation, autonomous coding, even, near instant startup creation with AI tools. Just a few years ago, this stuff was pure science fiction, right?
Right, completely.
Now, they're simply, well, they're part of our digital landscape. They feel normal. And this rapid acceptance means we stop seeing how truly extraordinary these advances are. And that's precisely why we keep underestimating the next wave. When something incredible becomes routine, we just lose sight of its initial groundbreaking nature.
Okay, so this consistent underestimation isn't just about past failures. It fundamentally shapes how we envision the future, too. Some, like this AI Future Project, use bold, even partly satirical projections. It seems like they're trying to force us to confront the sheer speed of what's coming and the potential gaps in how we govern it all. It's a provocative way to highlight serious concerns about exponential growth and, well, the lagging pace of regulation.
Yeah, their projected timeline, while it definitely has that satirical tone, uses really specific dates to underscore the sheer pace they foresee. For example, they project widespread, though probably imperfect, AI agents emerging by mid-2025.
Mid-2025, so very soon.
Very soon. Then by 2026, they anticipate AI training costs will rise significantly. Alongside that, increased geopolitical espionage. They even cite alleged Chinese actors stealing U.S. training results as an example. Then 2027 is painted as a truly pivotal year in their projection. By early 2027, they're talking continuously learning AI agents, mid-year, potentially the full automation of coding, and truly self-improving AI.
Self-improving AI.
Right. And then by late 2027, they specifically say with public fear peaking by October, there's this projection of widespread panic as AI takes over science, but is maybe poorly aligned with human needs.
It's certainly a vivid picture. Alarming, even. But as you mentioned, it's partly satirical. How should we, as listeners, interpret these kinds of projections? Is the satire itself a mechanism to highlight genuinely concerning trends? Or is there a risk it just fuels hyper fear without substantive analysis behind those specific dates?
That's a really crucial distinction, I think. The satire acts as a kind of hyperbole, right? It aims to shock us into recognizing the very real underlying trends. The acceleration, the potential for misalignment, and crucially, that governance lag. So while the specific dates are, let's say, dramatic,
Yes.
the direction and the speed they imply, that's what the sources seem to want us to consider seriously. It sort of forces us to ask, if this is a satirical projection, what does that say about the real challenges we might be facing?
That makes sense. Okay, so if the tech itself is accelerating faster than anyone really predicted, what does that mean for our wallets, for the global economy? Because beyond the technological leaps, our sources detail what sounds like an economic tsunami already starting to reshape industries. This isn't just about cool new tech. It feels like a fundamental shift in how we work and create value. The data is already telling a powerful story, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the economic data is indeed pretty compelling. Take Goldman Sachs, for instance. They note that AI adoption and investment have already outpaced their prior most optimistic scenarios. They now expect a tangible GDP impact as early as 2027.
Wait, hang on. Outpace their most optimistic scenarios.
Yeah.
So even their most ambitious forecasts were too conservative. That alone feels like a massive signal.
It really is. It indicates a level of confidence and, well, capital flowing into AI that's far beyond what even the biggest financial institutions dared to imagine just a few years back.
Right.
And it's not just investment. McKinsey points to rapid integration already happening in areas like marketing, sales, IT. These are fields where measuring immediate quantifiable results can often be tricky, but the integration itself is undeniable. Then you have the World Economic Forum identifying AI, robotics, software as key productivity drivers, creating new jobs while fundamentally altering others. Though they also offer that humorous but practical warning that maybe postal work isn't the best long-term career move right now.
Okay. Right. A practical takeaway there.
And PwC. They've even revised their global GDP boost projection upwards. They increased it from an already impressive plus 14% by 2030 to an even more significant plus 15% by 2035.
15% boost to global GDP. That's huge.
It is. Now, it's also important to bring in other perspectives. There's an MIT academic view, for example, which is a bit more cautious. They describe the impact as non-trivial but modest.
Okay. Non-trivial but modest. What does that translate to?
Well, it's not a dismissal, right? It's more like saying the precise extent of the economic transformation is still uncertain, but it's definitely noteworthy. Something significant is happening, even if the exact scale is debated.
Okay. So we're seeing this range of economic outlooks from, highly optimistic projections of major GDP boosts down to more measured, maybe cautious views. But the common thread seems to be profound change is coming. It's not really a question of if, but maybe how much and how fast. And crucially, how we manage that speed. Now, after all that talk of rapid acceleration and economic tsunamis, it feels essential to step back a bit. Let's introduce a more nuanced perspective on the future of AI, because our source material isn't just about, fast doom scenarios or boundless optimism. It also offers a balanced view, acknowledging potential breaks on this runaway train, so to speak.
Indeed. The author actually expresses some skepticism about a fast doom scenario, specifically doubting that truly superintelligent AGI, that's artificial general intelligent, systems capable of human-level cognitive tasks across the board, doubting that it will just arise from current architectures without a pretty significant design restart.
Okay, so not necessarily from the LLMs we see today.
That seems to be the suggestion. Their prediction for truly transformative systems is more in the range of 5–10 years, which suggests a critical window for us to get things right for governance and alignment.
5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Still very fast in the grand scheme of things.
Absolutely. And there's also this really interesting concept they bring up, the fragility of advanced AI. The idea here is that as these intelligent systems grow in complexity, they might paradoxically become harder to replicate and maintain.
Harder to replicate. How so?
Well, think of it like a highly specialized, finely tuned engine. It might be brilliant at what it does, but maybe it's immensely difficult to scale or copy accurately or even fix if one tiny piece is off. This inherent sort of brittleness could act as a natural governor on unchecked exponential growth. It might provide us a crucial window for more careful development and control.
That's a really interesting point, the fragility aspect. So it's not just about what we can build, maybe, but also what we can reliably sustain and effectively manage at scale.
Right.
And that brings us neatly to the source's core message for this section, it seems. Whether you find the prospect thrilling or, frankly, terrifying, the AI-driven shift is coming. It's inevitable. It will reshape the world as we know it. So as we wrap up this deep dive into AI's underestimated acceleration, let's just quickly recap the 4 core takeaways that really stood out from our sources. First, AI progress is consistently outpacing forecasts, often by a decade. That's a huge margin of error, with significant implications for, everything from policy to personal planning.
Definitely.
Second, economic and societal disruption isn't some distant possibility. It looks like a strong likelihood within the next 5 to 10 years, impacting industries globally.
Mm-hmm.
Third, governance and alignment issues are rapidly emerging as critical bottlenecks. How do we control and guide something so powerful as it scales? That's a key question.
A massive one.
And finally, fourth, there's this significant perception lag. We as humans seem to normalize extraordinary breakthroughs far too quickly. which leads us to constantly underestimate AI's true speed and its profound impact. So maybe a final thought to leave you with. Given how quickly we normalize the extraordinary, what truly groundbreaking AI capability do you think will become normal in just a few short years? And what do you think its true, maybe unforeseen, impact will be? It's certainly a question worth pondering as we all navigate this rapidly unfolding AI landscape. We really encourage you to keep exploring these ideas and thinking critically.